Well, the Boomers are back in another Asia Cup final after dominating Iran overnight. It was sad news for the Tall Blacks, who won't be joining them in the final. They went down to China, but it all sets up for what could be history for the Australian Boomers. They're going to be one of just two teams to have three-peats in a FIBA Asia Cup tournament if they can get the job done. And if they do that, they'll have to beat the team that's already there, and that's China. Damon Lowry, it was an early rise, and it was as convincing as a win as we're going to see in the Asia Cup tournament from our guys.
Man, yeah, Pete. Well done to us getting a win. Kudos to Adam Caporn, the way he's leading these dudes, man. I don't know. We've been in games before, never for Australia, but we've been in games, Pete, where you have literally, the game is over with. To be able to still go out there and be disciplined and be professional and still get the job done without just saying, you know what, that's hard to do. It really is. So credit to all the dudes. All 12 guys played double-figure minutes, which I don't think has ever happened before. That's rare in itself. But Iran, you Iranians, man, I found myself saying, will you guys man up? Will you step up and make it kind of hard for us? Yes, we know you're not as good as us, but damn, you can't be down 43 points going into the last quarter without somebody doing something remotely physical, remotely violent. They just laid down, man, towards the end. So hopefully New Zealand takes care of them tomorrow and get the bronze.
Well, it started okay from Iran point of view. It was 27-20 after quarter time, but then we talk about all the offensive firepower the Boomers have. The defensive firepower is arguably even better. They held Iran to 9 points in the second, 8 points in the third, just 11 points in the fourth. So what I love so much about the Asia Cup for the Boomers is you look at this list of everyone that played. You said everyone played over double-figure minutes. Harry Wessels had an outstanding game. The young fella, Jack McVeigh, again, we'll talk about individuals. But these are young and up-and-coming stars who are hungry to show the coach, Adam Caporn, that when the next major tournament rolls around, I need to be in the mix. That's the beauty of this. And that's why we see the hunger of putting up a 50-point margin, because they're playing for a whole lot more.
That is true. That is very true. These guys, like in 2 to 3 years' time, obviously everybody's thinking about LA Olympics, but there's a World Championships too. And even later on, Harry Wessels, man, every bit of 7'1", he's a monster. He's going to have a big senior year at St. Mary's. Dean Vickerman is probably already whispering to him. He's going to have some options, man, when Harry's done. Now, obviously, Jaden Galloway, we've already spoken about him. But young dudes like Owen Foxwell, Rain Smith, these kind of guys, man, getting an opportunity. Okay, yes, it turned into a train run. But like you say, they putting their hand up for future tournaments. And this is, you can only play who's in front of you. And these guys are going out there, going about it the right way.
They are, and it's something I think a lot of Australians will be proud about this morning. Is it's hard when I know that Adam Caporn came out and the playing group came out and said that we have to show up every game because we could get beat. You just never know what's going to happen in a 40-minute game. There's always that little inevitable seed that when you know that you're much more talented, that you can fall into that trap, and they have not done that one bit. Let's talk about Davo Hickey, because he was player of the game. 15 minutes. No one really played over 20 minutes, but he had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 turnovers. He does a little bit of everything, and he does a little bit of everything very well.
Davo was sensational, man. He did all that in the second quarter. I think at the half, he might have had 12, 5, and 5 at the half. I mean, in transition, he's a nightmare. Defensively, he's a long praying mantis. His basketball instincts are exceptional. But what I liked, like them 0 turnovers, his pick and roll play, he's making the perfect passes out of that. He's not taking any bad shots. But one thing that a lot of people probably not that familiar with is Davo. His one-on-one package, man, we don't get to see a lot of it with Illawarra Hawks. But if you put that guy on the island on a 45-degree angle at the elbow, his first step is quick. He's got a nice hesitation dribble. He gets to the rim at ease. And then once he gets to the rim, you think, oh, that's right, he's 6'5". So Davo's a complete problem for opposition teams. Good to see him balling out.
He's one of those guys that if you had an open pool to draft locals in the NBL, He's going to go incredibly high because he's a starting level talent. We know that. There's no doubt about it. He can play 30, 35 minutes a game and win you a ball game. He proved that in the championship series last year. But if you need for the time being to bring him off the bench, still play him starters minutes, he's not going to worry about that. He's just going to go out there and prove, you know what? That's fine with you. If that's the way you want to start me, I'm going to make sure that when the game's finished, I'm on the court.
Davo, like with Illawarra, I felt like he was the leader of the team, the inspirational leader, not the captain, but the leader. And I feel like even in this Boomers team, there's lots of leadership there. Jack McVay, Jack White, Xavier Cooks. But then there's Davo that people kind of maybe don't see at that level because this is his first stint with the Boomers. But Davo just goes out there and balls, man. You see him in huddles. He's communicating with all the guys. But he has a nice, he has a nice healthy chip on his shoulder. A healthy chip. He can tell you about all the slice that he's had throughout his career and how he's had to do it tough. But he doesn't use that in a way that takes away from the team. So I feel like the way he's going about it is great for him. Confidence is only going to get higher, and hopefully he can have another big NBL 26.
Well, who stands in the way of going with this historic three-peat is China. And Davo said in the postgame, I don't know if you caught this, but this is what we've come to know and love from Davo. I'm putting a target on all of them. I'll put it all on China if I need to. I'm here to win a basketball game, and if you're in my way, it is what it is.
That's Davo, man. That is the Davo we know and love, man. He is not shy to put his feelings out there, outspoken, extremely confident, not cocky, but extremely confident in himself. He's not going to go out there and take China lightly. To have a gold medal, and Pete, this would be Davo's second Asia Cup championship. He has a 3x3 for the Kangaroos a couple years ago.
Is that your segue for me to remind all the listeners that you have 3 of those as well? That's always, I'm okay to do it. That's part of it. You've won that. You've earned that right. So they are taking on China, who really got out on a quick start against New Zealand. Let's talk about the gold medal matchup first. China, they out-rebounded New Zealand. They shot the 3 ball at 46%. They shot overall very well from the field. Turned the ball over 13 times. Do you see any weapons in particular from China that may give the Boomers a little bit more trouble than any other team has so far?
Yeah, they got shooting. And disappointing loss for New Zealand, man. I was really hoping New Zealand could get to the gold medal game, but you just can't give up those type of those scoring outbursts. In China, I can't pronounce his name, but number 8. He's number 8, people. The guy can shoot the ball. He led him in scoring. And that's the one thing that China has. They have a little bit of size, but they got some shooting. Whereas Iran just couldn't hit anything. So that's going to be an issue. It's a potential issue. It won't be because we're too good defensively. We're not going to lose to China, but China's going to make it a game. And I'm still saying anywhere between a 16 and 28-point win. Anywhere between that.
Oh, that was Rui. He had 24 points, 5 of 8 from 3. Also had 6 assists. Did have 4 turnovers and 4 fouls as well. But that's going to be a fascinating game. That's at 2 a.m. tomorrow, so another early rise to kickstart the week. But if you come home with a gold medal, it's all worth it for Boomers fans who are watching back here. Let's talk a little bit about the New Zealand game because you're right. They got off to a slow start, down 9 at quarter time. They battled back at halftime, and then the fourth quarter kind of got ran over. It seemed the story of their whole Asia Cup where there was too many ebbs and flows, too many highs and lows in games where they didn't have enough level-headed play to show what they're really capable of with all the talent. Because it's all there. They should be in a final. But too many slumps and teams like China are going to take advantage of that.
And that's the thing with these Asia Cup tournaments, right? A lot of countries, ourselves, New Zealand, we don't have the time to really prepare and get a lot of practice time in and work out your chemistry, that kind of stuff. We just happen to have an abundance of talent that we can throw it out there. We don't need more than a week to prepare. Whereas New Zealand, I feel like they don't have enough veteran leadership that you can rely on. I mean, you got guys like Max Darling, who I thought has had a pretty good tournament. He was really good in the game previously with 18 and about 10 boards. Guys like Colin Davidson, real role-playing guys in NBL. But when it's time to really lean on these guys in a major tournament, it's hard, man, because they have not ever had to lead any of their teams. Taylor Britt's had a good tournament when, again, pretty much new to the New Zealand program. So these guys, if they can stay together and keep the core of that group together in future tournaments, they'll learn from this.
Taylor Britt, he might be one of the more veterans on this squad, had 21 points, 6 assists. He's been outstanding all tournament. They still have a bronze medal to play for. But you look at where they went wrong. They only turned the ball over 9 times. You talk about the ebbs and the flows of a game. It was probably defensively where if you let a team like China shoot 57% from the floor, 46% from 3, get to the free throw line 22 times, they made 20 of those, you're probably not going to win too many games.
And Peril Cameron mentioned it during the call and throughout the tournament. They overhelp a lot. So they get beat off the dribble. Next thing you know, another guy comes over that helps when he probably shouldn't. They kick it out 3. And they got to be able to just guard their yard one-on-one and let the help come from probably down low, one of the bigs. So the way China moves the ball, they're quick. They move the ball well. They like making that extra pass. They will get you in rotations, and then they shooting the ball. We shouldn't have that much of an issue because we trust guys like a Jalen Galloway to keep this guy in front of him, Xavier Cooks, Davo, Hickey, even Owen Foxwell. We're going to keep people in front of us for the most part. And if you happen to get biased, we got great rim protection. So that's what I think New Zealand let themselves down at. Again, being young and inexperienced doesn't help, but overhelping was definitely an issue.
And the size aspect of it, I mean, they took who they had, but they got out-rebounded by 10 in the end or just around that mark. If they were going to come up against Australia, that's probably one area as well that would have hurt them with the size of Will Magnay, guys coming in like Hickey and Jack White, rebounding the ball. So they play at 9 p.m. tonight against Iran for the bronze medal. And this is probably the harder mental hurdle to get over for a team where you should be in the final. You want to be in the final playing against Australia. You fall short the game before and have to try and back it up against a team that they should go out there and beat Iran. But that's probably the hurdle of, you know what, we have to forget about that now and just finish this tournament on a high.
Yeah, you don't want to leave with nothing. So they got to get themselves off the mat. Whereas Iran, they laid down late, I would say halfway through the second quarter. They're going to go in fresh thinking, you know what, well, there's no way we're going to beat Australia. Why just go guns blazing? Let's save everything for New Zealand. Whereas New Zealand is like, man, we shouldn't even be in this bronze medal game. So we're going to find out what New Zealand is made of. But I'm sure with a medal on the line, and you're only as good as your last game, they're going to have to get the job done.
So we're predicting a New Zealand bronze medal and Australia gold medal. That's what you've got for us this morning, D?
That's what I got. I got New Zealand by 12.
Okay, I don't mind that. I think New Zealand will get the job done. I'm going to give them a bit more. I'm going to say they win by 20-odd. I think they're going to come out firing, and then the Boomers will get the job done as well. Busy night ahead for all the NBL fans. It's been a fascinating Asia Cup, so hopefully we get the job done overnight. Thank you very much, Damon Lowry. Enjoy your Sunday. I know your Sunday's enjoying is an interesting word to use with all the things you like to do. I will try and enjoy mine, and we'll chat soon to wrap it all up.
All right, man.